All right. This is, I believe, it's episode 5 of our Wrath and Glory campaign called The Blood Dragons, Angels of Death. And where we had last left off, um, the protagonist of this story, the Adeptus Astartes of the Blood Dragons, a successor chapter of what am I? Why am I?
Blood Angels.
Blood Angels. um,
Heresy.
yeah, very bad heresy. Heresy
Put him down.
of his exhaustion. Have come to this planet, Skullhaven Sprawl. Most recently, they had brokered a deal somewhat with a local gang that was attempting to loot a hospital. They convinced them to share the medical wealth with the local loyalist legion, the 43rd Legion of the Astra Militarum. And they also picked up a small boy named Tigo who wants to become a space marine. As I guess their guide or pet or whatever we want to call him. Um, and they are now getting ready to head to a part of the city just outside the main hive to potentially gun down another gang. The most important thing about this area is that it was rumored that a Thunderhawk landed there from the Chaos Marine ship in orbit. So that's where you're headed. Um, Let me get this going. I don't need her anymore. I just need that. Alrighty. You're heading in that direction with Varys' Auspex. He has a full map of the city as you head outside the walls, down the thoroughfare. You're walking right now. Of course, as usual, most of the city is in a at least partial state of disrepair. More than usual, bombed out buildings, damaged, vehicles, and dead litter the street as your massive power armor propels you along the main street to the south. And I'll let you guys kick it off as Tygo is standing next to Ramael and asking him many questions about the Blood Angels and particularly, the Blood Dragons. And go ahead.
Go,
Okay.
Ramael.
Yeah, you have 0 glory, by the way. I'm moving that down to 0.
Tigo is asking Ramael about the blood dragons, and Ramael's, he's careful not to divulge too much about his chapter, but he tells him the story of uh, of how the chapter was founded, of how through faith and obedience one can serve the emperor. But they're just talking, like, he's not being loud. He's just but he's speaking to him in a low voice, not projecting his voice across, not trying to scare the child too much.
Yeah, he seems fascinated with you specifically. Perhaps it's your skull, mask, and helm. Lord, tell me, what will what will the training be like when I become a space marine? Or, you said an aspirant? Yes, that. What will I do? To be an aspirant of the blood dragons, I'm very eager to fight the evil of the God Emperor's empire and become strong. A strong warrior like you.
Faith, Tigo, faith. Faith in the Emperor. Faith in your brothers. Faith in yourself. There are many trials that you must surpass.
I'm ready. What can I do something now? Is there something you can give me to make me stronger now so I can destroy our enemies?
Ramael, as they're walking, stops and turns to the boy, and there's this massive gauntleted hand, and he takes his index finger and touches the child on his chest, and his like little scrawny thing and this massive finger that's poking him in his chest, but he does it gently. All that you need is within you, child. That is all you ever need. That is all we ever have. It's the gift of the Emperor. It starts with ourselves. Believe in yourself, Tigo. And when the time comes, the Emperor's hand will guide you.
He looks up at you, way up. He's almost leaning backwards as you're close to him.
Yeah, he must be coming, like, his head must be near my knees.
Yeah. And he nods and he looks around actually, and there's a couple dead bodies on the side of the street. He doesn't appear afraid of them. He kind of walks over there and picks up to him, a massive auto gun. And, he's holding it kind of awkwardly, and he walks back over kind of like a child soldier style. And he says, I'm ready. I'll do what I can. I believe because the Emperor has put me here with his servants, his angels. And one day I'll wear the armor like you, but for now, I'll shoot them all. I'll kill all the evil. The ones that came to my home and tried to subjugate us. Never again.
Remember this feeling, Tigo. Remember it well. Store it in a deep, dark place in your heart. And draw on it when times are dark, and when the Emperor's light does not shine upon you. Find that strength through this feeling, and you shall lay waste to all the enemies of the Imperium.
He nods.
Through duty, child, through duty is how we can serve the Emperor.
I
Repeat
will.
after me.
Yes.
Faith in each other.
Faith in each other.
Faith in our Father.
Faith in our Father.
Faith in the Emperor.
Faith in the Emperor.
We are his will.
We are his will.
We are his judgment.
We are his judgment.
We are his rage.
We are his rage.
Burn the heretic.
Burn the heretic.
Kill the mutant.
Kill the mutant.
Purge the unclean.
Purge the unclean. He has tears in his eyes welling up.
Ramael continues to walk.
Yeah, he walks beside you, he's almost like jogging to keep up. As this conversation is going on, what are the rest of you doing?
Artaxian kind of... Oh, sorry, go ahead, Juan.
No, you go ahead.
Artaxian is kind of plodding along in his Terminator armor, listening to Ramael speak to this small child, and his childhood is nothing more than a few glimpses of, places and deeds, and he kind of struggles to think back to his childhood, as he knew he was raised in the lower hives, and he knows how he met someone who came to tell him about the trials to join the Blood Dragons, and there's just the faintest memories of some of the trials before he was turned into a weapon of war to serve the Emperor. And he looks at this Tigo, and he doubts he would survive the trials, but considering the current state of the chapter and the amount of losses they had taken, he wonders if this child would have the ability to make it through and become a member of the Legion, a neophyte. And as he thinks of that, he looks to Varist and thinks of how different his creation was and how he joined the chapter, and wonders what that person, or what that the Tech Marine's life had been like before he had become a Primaris. And he keeps all of these thoughts to himself as he focuses ahead on the fight to come with not only gangers, but potentially the archenemy.
Yeah, actually, Varist's thoughts are very much on the same thing. His childhood seems like a dream to him, because it was a different world. It was during the Great Crusade and the start of the Horus Heresy, and the world just seemed very different then. Partly because he was a child, and partly because it was so different. But he had 10,000 years of being occasionally woken to be experimented on, and that was just a nightmare of pain. And all that time he was basically a child and couldn't understand it, and just kept having the Adeptus Mechanicus tech priest tell him that he was going to be a space marine, he was going to be one of the Emperor's angels, and that kind of kept him going. And then he was revived as, with the body of not just a man, but an Adeptus Astartes, and sent to war. And through hypnotic training, effectively, he had the knowledge to deal with that, but the maturity and the understanding took a lot longer. And for a while, he almost saw himself as a child, but his actual childhood, trying to remember himself like this child is, he's having real trouble doing it. It just seems like a dream, and one that's really, over the last 70 years for him, since he's been revived and brought into this world, it's faded to a really faint dream, like it was someone else's life. And eventually it becomes so confusing he just dismisses it from his mind, and instead is repeating some of the prayers to the machine god that he's been he's learnt to do, and some of the rites that will maintain his equipment. So he falls back on the familiar chants and the familiar rites, and lets that drown out the uncomfortable thoughts.
Vladric, upon hearing the discussion with the child between Tigo and Ramael, thinks back on when he was young, so long ago, as a child. Not even memories, echoes of memories long since past. Growing up in a hive, destitute, poor, very little. Just surviving on corpse meal or whatever you could steal when he was a much younger child. yesterday's neighbors, he found out much later, could have just been today's dinner, depending on if they passed away or not. And so he muses on how if he, who was no one from nothing, could make it to be where he is now, then why couldn't this child? And Vidric himself takes Ramael's encouragement to the child at face value. If the chaplain thinks the boy could make it, then perhaps he can.
Yeah, and I wonder if he doesn't remind you of yourself, right? He's from a hive, the slums. He looks like he barely has anything. His clothes are tattered. He's lost an arm already at the age of maybe 7. He weighs almost nothing. You know, he definitely is malnourished. But eager. Very eager. Now, does he show any signs of, psychic ability? No, but like you say, maybe he'll make it. Who knows? And,
Was it a hand or arm that he had lost?
It's like below the elbow, I think is what we said.
Gotcha.
So basically, he's got his left arm is a drill, odd, like augmentic. For some reason he doesn't really say, but he's got this auto gun. He's just kind of holding in the crook of his arm on one side, because it's really big for him, and it's like a machine gun size thing.
Vidric is impressed that he can carry a weapon with one good arm.
Yeah, he's just got it kind of like cradled almost, and he's like going every alleyway you go by. He's like stopping and aiming down the alley, almost like he's playing war, right?
Vidric, actually seeing him doing it, he looks to Varus actually, knowing that his brother Tech Marine knows a fair bit about armaments. Brother Varus.
It takes Varus a second to snap out of what he's doing, and you realise he's intoning some rites, and he finishes what he's saying, finishes sprinkling a little sacred oil on his servo arm, and then says, "Yes, brother librarian."
You strike me as having extensive knowledge about arms and armaments. Perhaps with our new ally, young Tigo, you could explain some of the finer points of handling that weapon that he has acquired, that he might utilize it to its fullest potential, if he must.
Yes, but I think perhaps a pistol would suit you better, young man. It's, when next we pass dead, I will look for something suitable.
Oh yeah, there's dead all over. You could find like a stubber or something. That's not.
Yeah, I'll do that and say yes. I think this is much more suitable, and then I'll take him through, how to. And Varus is actually quite pleased for the distraction, and he teaches the boy how to kind of hold one arm up and use that to kind of prop the other hand, because even a pistol for him is going to be heavy.
Yeah.
And takes him through that, and also just takes him through the importance of cover, etc. And he essentially tells him not to bother too much with aiming. That his main aim is to give covering fire. So that would be the thing. Cause a little bit of a distraction, make some noise, get some ammo downrange, and just give them a little bit more distraction. But to get into cover, that will be the main things he's.
He's waving the pistol around, and let's say it's an auto pistol. It'd probably be easier for him to work with than a stubber. And he's like pointing down the alleyways and making like pew pew sounds with his mouth. Just total 7-year-old stuff.
Would a las pistol be even easier?
Yeah, probably.
Because there's
probably.
no recoil presumably with that. So yeah. So yeah, I'll try and find him a las pistol, and I'll yeah, just be teaching him that. But really, a lot of it will be focused on helping him feel a little bit more confident and making sure he knows to get himself into cover, and saying that one day you will no doubt have the privilege of dying for the Emperor, but you shouldn't be eager to seek that day, because the longer it is until that day comes, the more you can serve him. And yeah, Varist in general, and as it comes to sniveling cowards like the governor, he actually treats ordinary humans pretty reasonably because of when he was born. It was a slightly different kind of view of that relationship, and he still holds to that to a certain degree. So yeah, he'll be genuinely trying to help the
yeah, and as you do, you kind of teach him the basics of what he might be able to do. But it quickly ends up being a conversation. He's asking you about like your servo arm and why you're so much taller than everyone else, and various questions that probably you don't even have time to explain to him before he asks another thing.
Yeah, so a lot of the
eager.
answers will be, why are you so much taller? Because I have been blessed by the Emperor, and the Emperor deemed it so. And he'll just be kind of deflecting the answers.
But why?
Like rather than
why?
Get into
why?
the whole thing.
He does the whole why thing, right?
Yeah. And yeah, he will tell him about the dangers of an overly questioning mind, and how the Emperor has foes, and those foes can use a questioning mind. Fill your mind not with questions, but with love for the Emperor and with duty. And that will keep you safe.
Oh yes, of course. Yeah, he just nods, and then he starts kind of saddling over to our Taxian, and he immediately forgets what you said to him, and he just starts asking him questions, and so on and so forth, right? Eventually, you do kind of get close to the walls, and you're exiting, and he says, I know that probably do you want me to scout ahead? I don't think you're going to go any place quietly.
And Varys will look to the sergeant.
Artaxian, who had turned off the majority of his sound dampeners, or turned them on at the incessant barking of the child. He realizes that someone's speaking to him, and kind of cranks it back up, and perhaps either Varys or Ramael can go up with Tigo and report back on what you see. If he knows the area truly, he can point you in the right direction, while your eyes will see what is need to be seen before we advance.
No offense, my lord, but
you are not part of this conversation.
Oh, okay. I could just get places you can't, sneaking and stuff. What's this? And he points to something on your Terminator armor that's blinking.
And Varys will kind of completely ignore what the boy's saying and turn around to the chaplain and says, Brother Chaplain, do you wish to accompany the child, or would you prefer that I did?
I shall accompany the child. The child has a point. He is little. Come with me, Tigo. Your trials begin now.
Oh, yes, master. And he seems, you can tell he's kind of not standoffish with everybody else, but more kind of like asking them about what the kind of, he seems more comfortable with Ramiel, for whatever bizarre reason that would be. Perhaps he just feels that he's taken more of an interest in him, or is nicer to him. And yeah, he nods and he kind of skips over towards Ramiel, and he's like, this way, master, this way.
Ramael and Tigo start walking, and as they're walking, he turns to the child. Remember what Varys said, Tigo. It is easy to be drawn into battle and seek glory. But the great warrior seeks vengeance, seeks retribution, seeks destruction of his enemies over and over again. And to do that, you must live. Each minute, each hour, each day. Life is precious and fleeting. Do not just throw it away. The Emperor does not look on that kindly.
No.
As we approach the enemy, be quiet, be vigilant, and be smart.
Of course, I don't want to die, my lord. It's not that. I just want to be brave.
When the time comes, you will find it out for yourself.
He nods. Thank you, my lord. You've been kind to me.
Ramael just stops for a brief moment and looks at the child, not understanding
Yeah.
what the word kind means. He cocks his head and then just kind of cocks his head the other way and continues to walk.
Alright, let's see. So, so the rest of you are just gonna hang back? Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Ramiel and Tygo head forward, and he says, I wasn't really clear. Where, he said the Rimbro gang, they're this way, but there's another one too. What was their name? And he's like sitting here thinking for a moment, and he says, oh yes, the Ab Heroes of Armageddon, they call themselves. There's strange ones. Ratlings and Ogrins, I think they're called. They have a spot in this area as well. Are they our friends or our enemies?
That's a very good question. Damn it, why was it asked of the chaplain though?
I don't know. It sounds like Xenos to me.
Yeah, exactly.
Just the personal opinion.
Just the personal opinion.
I mean, how
Could
would
I
how
roll?
would I mean, it's
Could
up
I
to you.
roll?
How would you react to Ratlings and Ogrins? I don't know.
Yeah, so when he said Ab Heroes, but he said, Armageddon. So I would like to roll something to see if something like that. Would Ramael know about Armageddon?
Oh, I think you would know at least surface level details for sure. I don't think you would have to roll.
Yeah, so Ramael is a little torn. He knows enough about Armageddon that world has seen such atrocity that abhumans are the least of the worries, right? When you face an orc invasion, not just an orc invasion, there was even a demonic invasion of that planet also. So takes a moment and then looks at the child. What else do you know about these abhumans, Tigo?
Not much, my lord. I know that they keep to themselves. Um, they are one of the least aggressive gangs. They have a sector outside the city that they maintain. Um, I had a friend that lived there once. I can't remember his name, but he said it was pretty good there. Better than inside the city, unfortunately, where I'm from.
Hmm.
No offense to the Iron Fangs or anything, but yes, I don't know. They have never been too kind to me, not like you. But they
Ramael
fed
on
me.
his. Oh, when they say they fed him, Ramael turns to the child. Very well. And then on the internal walks, uh, he lets Artaxian, Varest, and Bladrick know about this new development, and that he is going to investigate this group, but alone. Uh, but he'll give them the coordinates of where they're going. That way, they're there for backup in case things go south.
Ramel, as you're walking, your kind of auspex kind of pick up various people, like kind of peeking out windows and around buildings and kind of looking. Nothing that seems like dangerous, but like people definitely can see you. Obviously, there's no stealth here. But Tygo says, "Well, uh, where do you want me to take you? I think that the Rimbro Enterprises, as they call them, is this way." And he kind of points, to the left, and he says, "And the others are this way," and he points the other way. The abhumans. Um, which way
Take
do you
me to
want to
the
go?
abhumans, Tygo.
Oh,
I
okay.
would like to meet them.
Um, you just want to do you want me to sneak up there or?
Stay hidden, stay out of sight, do not engage them. I would like to speak with them and understand their purpose here. If they serve the Emperor, then so be it. Ah, if they are unclean, then they shall be purged.
Oh, okay. Um, do you want me to bring you there then? Directly to them?
Yes, take me to them, but once we can see their location, then hide yourself.
Mm-hmm. All right, give me one sec. So you walk and he starts taking a path that kind of leads up in the sprawl. Although the outside of the city is probably not as not as tall as the spirals inside. It's still pretty tall, right? There's still like very big, amount of layers to it. So you kind of figure you're kind of going up and up and up, and eventually you get to this walkway, and you see kind of a bit of people across the way. Some you immediately see Algren kind of lumbering about on the outside of what over there is like a building of some sort. Um, and he kind of stays kind of around the corner. This is it. This is where they are. Be careful. And let's switch back to the others real quick. Which map was I on? One sec. This one. So over the Vox, you get Ramel tells you that he's going to investigate these abhumans, and leaves you there waiting. Um, what are you're just gonna stand there, or what are you gonna do?
Our Taxian being much larger and an open target, an attempting target to anybody that has the basic understanding of how to use weaponry, unlike the rebels and their las cannons. He maybe finds an alcove or, a blown out section of building, depending on the severity of damage during the strife, and kind of backs into that, and simply over the Vox goes, once the chaplain is completed his mission, we should make quick work of these gangers and investigate the possible signs of the archenemy before returning and continuing leading this resistance into some sort of cohesive force to quickly turn the tide.
Frederick thinks on that. He considers it. I agree, brother. Could we perhaps get closer to Brother Ramiel's?
Okay, how close is based on what was relayed by Ramiel, how close is the abhuman kind of location?
You have his location, which comes up on Varust's aspects for everyone to see. He's probably about a quarter mile away, but it's significantly higher than where you are, so they've climbed a bit. Also on Varus's aspects, there's something, a servitor approaching. Now, it's not a combat servitor like this is displayed, but it's heading right in your direction, Artaxian. Very slowly moving towards you. The skull is only partial. It has most of its face is been what is replaced with a massive like vocalizer unit, and says, Astartes, 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 I am 758 voice modulator unit for remote communications. Astartes, Astartes.
Artaxian looks towards Vladric and Varus and kind of looks towards Varus. Perhaps we should see who is trying to reach out to us and why. Is there any look of beyond normal mechanicum,
No, this looks like a very typical servitor.
And is it trying to talk to us, or is it raising an alarm?
No. Well, not that you can tell. It's not talking loud enough. It seems to be, from your kind of guess, it seems to be like searching for your exact location. It knows your general location. That would be kind of probably what you would assume.
Okay.
It's possible it's loyalists looking to communicate with us now that they know loyalist space marines are on planet.
Yeah.
Yeah, and to kind of confirm that, it also says... No, go ahead.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
No, it just says... I am a representative of Delicu Rimbro, Astartes, Parley.
Varus will look across at the sergeant, and yeah, he'll send, he'll give it a quick scan and relay the information, but I'm sure it just says it's a very standard servitor.
Yeah, it's very standard servitor. Most of them are kind of hodgepodge together anyway, but there's nothing that makes it seem like it's a threat at all.
Yeah, and Varus will say, "I'm Brother Sergeant. I can block any communication it's having back with its owner, and then we can talk. It's hardly a threat to us. It's not loaded with explosives."
Very well. Let us see what it has to say as the chaplain completes his mission.
Before I do that, Tet, I want to see if I can, just out of an abundance of caution, just block any communication.
Just give me a normal tech use DN3.
Okay. Oh no.
Okay.
It wasn't dangerous before.
Yeah. Yeah.
You blocked it.
Okay. Something unexpected and unknown happens. Yeah. Okay. So Varys, sounding slightly uneasy, says to Tecton, Brother Sergeant, any communication is blocked. I just need to do a quick... And his vox just cuts off. And you think you can hear him sort of muttering some rights, but it gets cut off.
Yeah.
He doesn't feel like he needs to tell the tech marine how to do his job, but the cutoff, does perplex our techs, and he goes, "Is it possible to trace where the signal from this servitor is going to?"
And then let the machine spirit rest. Yes, Brother Sergeant. Yes.
Yeah,
I'll
you
try and do
already have
as
that
well.
information as a success there.
Okay.
It's
Great.
about half a kilometer away,
Okay,
deeper
yeah.
into the hive, not above, but
Great. Yeah, that will just appear in your Spectorium.
yeah.
Yeah, you'll just see.
And he just kind of blank confirms that on his retinal display. And very well, let us see what this individual has to say.
Parlay. Yeah, it doesn't see you exactly. It's like just kind of like moving around.
Our taxian will walk out to it and kind of stop in front of it.
Yeah,
I am Sergeant Artaxian of the Blood Dragons. Speak.
Parlay, Astartes, Delaque Rimbo invite you to a meeting, a peaceful meeting, to discuss your presence on this world and the presence of the other Astartes that have come before. He wishes you to know that he is an ally and not an enemy. He wishes no quarrel with you.
Give us this location.
Processing, transmitting, and it comes up on your aspects as you allow it.
Yeah.
And it's generally the same area as you had before that the signal was coming from. I must lead you back, or I must depart, as is my programming.
Depart. We will be there.
Compliance. And it turns and begins lumbering off.
Yeah, I'll remove the block on its transmission.
Very well. We know where they are. I don't know how much I believe them. However, we will hear what they have to say. Any enemy of the traitor forces is someone that can be utilized by us. Their petty grievances with the other gangers have no concern to me. If they're a usable asset.
Varys nods.
Yeah, Gladrick nods as well. Agreed. The traitors are the priority.
Can you?
One thing
Yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say, one thing I should have said that I'll be doing as well, just as we go through the city, I've just got an eye out for any possibly salvageable tech. Either something I can salvage myself, or something I can flag up to the Astra Militarum as...
Why don't
something
you
that they
all
can
give me
bring
an
back.
awareness skill check? DN3 is fine. So those who succeeded, which is I think everyone, Ramel, that wouldn't be you. You're not including this, but everyone that succeeded, you're walking, and you're heading in that direction, right? You catch, you look and you hear like somebody in the throes of passion, just like very randomly in this area. You hear laughter in certain areas, kind of some people peeking out at you. It's just kind of very strange, like this area of people like being like happy. It just seems very off-putting, considering what is going on in the city and the way this is. And probably who did the best? Let's see. Vladric? No. Yeah, Vladric. Oh, you guys. But you got a Wrath critical. Yeah, so Vladric, you see, you're just kind of looking around, and maybe it's your heightened awareness from your psychic abilities, but you see in one of the houses, you see the old She Who Thirsts, the mark of Slanesh painted on a wall in this house, which is like completely just random, that it would be there, obviously, just that you had caught wind of it. And,
Vladric immediately stops and is to the brothers that are nearest him, because Ramael is dealing with his own situation right now. Brothers, we must be even more aware. I have seen something. A mark of She Who Thirsts. We are perhaps surrounded. And he looks around the houses.
Yeah, some seem, fairly normal. Most people you would consider normal are trying to stay away from you, and they're quiet, and that would be kind of normal human behavior in situations like this. But there's some that are like, looking at you, smiling. There's people completely ignoring you and drinking, and they're eating stuff. Eating what appears to be actual real food. You guys probably don't have a sense of smell in your helmets. I really don't, but the way that you're, there's cooked meats smelling, and this like real strange. You would expect people to be eating, corpse starch and things extremely bland, and some people are like frying up food in alleyways and random stuff like that.
No one should be happy right now, or ever. All right, something's wrong. I'm actually gonna do Cynesians.
Yeah, go ahead.
I've just got your phrase from earlier coming back.
Yeah.
Yesterday's neighbours could be today's dinner.
That's right. It's cooked meat.
I think that's going to be the chapter name.
Yeah, Cynesians. Okay.
No overt signs of warp presence currently. And as you do that, let's switch the scene. Back to the chaplain. Okay. So Tigo goes and hides behind the building and tells you to be careful.
Ramael would walk, openly, not trying to hide or anything, and starts making his way towards the Ogren bodyguards.
Yeah, the Ogren sees you coming, and it has a partially masked face, and it says, "What is this? It is one of them." And what has he got here? Yeah, he has a humongous Bulgrin maul. He says, "Halt! We wish you no harm. But if you come here looking for trouble, you will find it."
I am Chaplain Ramael of the Blood Dragons, loyal servant to the Emperor, and here to purge Xenos, filth, and heretics from this land.
You'll find none of that here.
Just us mutants.
He didn't mention mutants.
He didn't. I noticed that. That's tactful for a chaplain.
I have been told that your gang is called the Ab Heroes of Armageddon. I wish to
Yes.
speak with your leader.
He reaches up and hits something on his mask, which is probably a Vox or what are the microbead, and he says, "We've got an Astartes out here, Rico. Says he's a loyalist. Doesn't look like the others. Yes. He admits you entry." And he waves you forward and kind of starts walking this way. To save you time, I'll just zip you over here.
Yep, yeah. So Ramael will again walk non-threateningly, as much non-threateningly it's possible
Yeah.
as for an Astartes.
Yeah. Yeah, the thing is, like, okay, so there's this, there's a door on the terrace, and all these Algrins kind of start following, and you notice easily that there are 4 Algrins kind of behind you, as you kind of walk inside. Inside are just a couple people. A couple are look normal, and one is clearly a ratling. He's standing there, looks up at you, bearded face, big feet, the whole works, and he says, "Well, well, haven't seen one of your kind for quite a while. What can I do for you? I'm Rico."
I am Chaplain Ramael of the Blood Dragons. As I said to your bodyguards outside, I'm a loyal servant of the Emperor, tasked with returning this world back to the Emperor's light.
What can I do for you then, Remiel?
It is what you can do for this world, Rico.
Which would be what? Help you fight, be conscripted into the 43rd Legion? Is that what you want of us?
No. No conscription. You are free beings, are you not?
We are?
And does this world not provide you with bountiful, has it not?
Well, that is that bountiful? Pah, I don't know that there's any world that's bountiful that I've been on. But enough to survive.
And that is a bountiful. No, I am here. Rouse the people of this land to fight again.
Against the traitors that now control the city, Is that what you mean?
Yes, but fight for your very survival. If you are truly heroes of Armageddon, then you know what the Imperium can bring upon a planet like this when all else fails.
You're speaking of exterminatus, are you not?
Indeed I am.
You believe that the Inquisition would destroy this place? I do not know.
I would destroy this place if I was in high orbit and I knew the kind of filth that had invaded this planet. And the Inquisition has even less patience than me.
Look, we came here for a relatively peaceful life. If you know anything about Armageddon, it was hell. We mustered out and came here to live a peaceful life, only to protect what is ours against the other gangs. If these traitors do not invade our area, then I see not why we would take the fight to them. These lands, these areas of ours here in these streets, these blocks of the Hab, have been unmolested by them.
That may be the case at this moment, Rico. But know this, the arch enemy only knows taking. They will take and take and take. They will not stop.
Perhaps. Perhaps it is best for us to just ship off this planet.
And ship off on what, Rico? I have not seen any shuttles making its way to the void.
Yes. That may be a fight that we are willing to take. To take back the main orbital dockyards.
That is all I ask. Fight for what is yours. Fight for your survival. Do not be complacent, Rico. I know you are not. If you were, you wouldn't be here. No one survives Armageddon.
It was a difficult fight. There were Astartes on the planet, as you probably know. Were you there?
No, the glory was not mine to fight by brothers from another chapter.
I will give your words consideration. We will not run to our deaths quickly or haphazardly. I will think on it.
That is all I ask. I do not wish for you and your group to die. And Ramael takes a pause before he says the word group. I do not wish for any deaths that do not serve the Emperor. All I ask is that you fight back the filth that the arch enemy has brought upon this land. If it means that you fight only for the spaceport, then so be it. That is why I am here.
Can you give me a, let's see, persuasion skill check? Test, whatever.
Oof.
Oh yeah, nice. Very well. I will tell you this. We do not fight for the Emperor. No longer. We have died in the hundreds and the thousands, our kinds. We were born as mutants. We fight for ourselves and our continued survival. I will fight for the spaceport so that we might leave. If you have a ship in orbit, I expect that it will not destroy us when we have flown away from this place. I have fought by the side of Astartes, and I consider them the greatest warriors of this galaxy. The greatest hope for the Imperium of Man, which we barely are a part of. We seek only peace. We seek peace from everyone and everything, to only live our lives as people, as men. I will lend you my blade and my rifle. But only
Be
for
aware,
us.
Rico, that even if you take the spaceport, leaving this planet immediately would not be advisable. Our ship was in the void, but it reported last that 2 more ships were making towards this planet with great haste. Unclear whether they were friend or foe.
Perhaps that is a chance we will take. It is not like we will fly out of here on a battle cruiser. Enough to get us into the void and away to somewhere else in the system, where we can hide until this is all past.
Very well. When you do find the ship, send me its designation, and I will promise that we will not fire upon you. In return, fight for the spaceport, occupy the spaceport, relieve the spaceport. But know this, Rico. If you are to betray me, the death that shall meet you, you would have been better off dying in Armageddon.
He looks up at you and says, I have no reason to do so. My word is my bond, and I give it to you that I will not turn on the forces of the Imperium. I have bled for them. I have seen friends and brothers, cublings, sons, daughters, all die in his name. I would not soil their memories by going against what they have died for. Worry not, Astartes.
Very well. I shall let the forces loyal to the Emperor know about your group, and let them know that you are loyal to the cause.
Do the cause, then. I will muster my forces, and we will begin our assault as soon as possible.
One more question, Rico.
Yes.
What can you tell me about the Rombo Enterprises?
dangerous. This Rembro is from off-world as well. He is strange. I have met him once or twice. He stays away from our areas, so I have not had much concern. But he is a violent man. He has killed many for many reasons. He is powerful, here and elsewhere. Be wary if you seek his assistance. Where I do things for the good of my people, and for our suffering so very long, he will do what is best for him. But why, whatever that might be, what loyalties he holds, I have no clue.
Very well. Fight well
You
and live
too,
free.
Astartes. Kill many in the name of your emperor.
With that, Ramael turns around and starts walking back to the group.
Let's switch that scene. Too many slides. Okay, this one. All right. You, Vladrik, you have announced what you've seen. You have checked for psychic activity, which there is none currently. What do you guys do?
How big of an area roughly are those markings being seen?
Well, you haven't walked around too much. You've started kind of going in the way of Rimbro's, where the signal came from. Basically, so far, you've not seen any more of the markings, but the activities are similar, at least as far as you've walked so far.
And are we talking like a few hab blocks of, run down?
Yeah, probably. Yep. You haven't had the time to explore the whole thing, but...
And last question, what would you say, the majority or just signs of it, or?
Oh, just signs of it, not the majority. Certainly not the majority.
All right.
But it's enough to be a stark contrast to kind of everything else, right? So most of the people and areas in this are either very quiet because people are trying to stay away from you and not draw attention to themselves, or hide. So it's almost like deathly quiet, other than these sounds of raucous behavior, which seems kind of out of place, obviously.
Varys, please mark this hab unit and others with the mark of the enemy on grid coordinates. When we have completed our mission, I will return and inform the Militarum to saturate bomb this area to remove the stench of corruption.
Compliance. And yeah, he'll just start doing that. He'll start just as he's walking, he won't need to really look round. His auspex will be picking out stuff. His optical mechadendrite will be pointing in the direction of any open window, and it will just be gathering a ton of data. And his armor's machine spirit will be passing it to a cogitator, which is again built into his armor, and he'll be just picking out patterns, and as soon as something matches, he'll just kind of flag it, just with an eye blink, and then it's all just getting recorded.
Yeah, and as you kind of head in that way, somebody leans out of an alleyway, and they have a piece of something on a bone in their hand. It says, "Oh, look at you, mighty warriors. Care to have a feast with me?"
Scan the bone. Animal? Human?
Human.
Immediately the Auspectorium of the others, they'll see two things. One is that the person's getting lit up in orange. There's a suggestion from Varist's Varist Cogitator, and the second, with a little note, showing the bone glowing red, outlined in red as like human. And you'll also see that they're showing up as a target for Varist, and he's targeting. So he's not saying anything, but it's obvious that he's just waiting for a note from Artaxian as to whether he should just kill this person.
A feast or a fuck.
Over his the personal comms, he doesn't say it over his Vox, the grill. When a tumor is excised, it is only natural that some of the healthy tissue around it is destroyed as well. Which was a nice way of him saying collateral damage will be acceptable when this entire hab block is raised.
And there's just an acknowledgement pulse comes back from Varist. He doesn't say anything. But his head just turns towards the person and turns away, and that's it. But he's person's still being tracked as a target, but he isn't doing anything.
Oh, as we're walking by, if nobody else does it, Vladric just fucking smashes them.
If he's an arm reach for Vladric, he don't care.
Yeah, no. If everyone's passing by, food or a fuck, Vladric will just take the staff and fucking boom, brush it, just smash him. Nothing but paste on the wall.
Yeah, it just is basically breaks every bone in her body, just clumps to the ground, and you hear like some laughter as it happens from somewhere else. And about that time, you're walking by Ramel. You intercept them on the road. You kind of as you get closer to Rimbro's area or wherever that signal came from, a lot of this kind of goes away. It's more deathly quiet, like more of what you would expect.
Chaplain.
Wait, say that again. As we get closer to Rimbro's area.
So as you guys leave this area, or as they leave this area and get closer to Rimbro's area, I'll just call it, like his encampment. A lot of the things that you would, associate with Slanesh are not there any longer. So people are actually hiding, or they're not there. There's definitely a less of a population the closer you get to this, where the signal came from. Plus, actually, the area becomes significantly more affluent. Nothing like especially, great, but it's clearly not the lowest slums that you could possibly be, as all these other areas have been.
Okay.
And you are able to...
No, sorry. Go ahead.
No, and you actually are able to catch up with them right about there, so, as they're getting closer.
And then Artaxian was saying something.
He just kind of puts his fist against his chest when the chaplain returns. Welcome back, Chaplain. And he sends a flood of data to his heads-up display with target runes on the different hab blocks and apartment complexes that he's marked for destruction. He goes, "The poisonous touch of chaos is spreading in this area. We do not have the time nor resources to cleanse the area on an individual basis. We will instead rely on mass saturation bombing after we have dealt with this Delaque and this rival gang."
As you're sharing data back and forth, everybody would see this. The area that Artaxian has marked, the chaplain increases it by another 10%.
It's wide in the radius.
Just in case.
You can never be sure, especially with this arch enemy. Really? And then he also then sends them data packets of the AB heroes and the agreements made.
Very well.
Well done, Brother Chaplain. A good accord to strike this time.
Yes. They have suffered much. But it is the times. We all must suffer.
In his
And assuming he shared like the info that
Mhm.
they relayed on Delaque, or however you pronounce his name, he goes, "We shall see what he has to say, but I feel this might be a short negotiation."
Yeah.
Be ready.
So yeah, makes sense. Makes sense.
Agreed, brother. But we may have an ace up our sleeve. A little Tigo.
And then Ramael turns to the child.
You said you have been within Delacue's.
Yes, I've seen his camp. I haven't been in his camp, but this area is known to me. These areas around this part. Yes, you can see. You see this marking there, and he points to some like rune. This marks as their territory. This is about the beginning of it, actually. You see, he is very rich. He's restored much of this for his men and the people that live there.
Ramael turns to Varest.
Brother Warest, could you spare a communication device to young Tigo?
And Varist was... I don't think I'd carry spares, would I? Because ours were all, like, inbuilt. I mean,
Yeah, you probably wouldn't
I
have a
was-
spare, but you could probably grab some
I was gonna-
tech on the street and turn it into a Vox or a microbead or something, honestly.
That's what I was going to say, because I was looking out for stuff that I could
Yes,
scavenge or mark
correct.
for
Yeah,
the
so let's say
military
you picked
scavenging.
up something that you could spare. Yep.
Okay, yeah, I'll do this, and I'll pick up just a very basic Astra Minotaur model and show Tygo how to use it.
Oh, this is very neat. And it's like fitting in
Say-
his ear, and he hits the button.
And
1,
I'll
2, 3, can you hear me? 1, 2, 3,
will-
can you hear me?
I'll turn him around and I'll say, and I'll just use my servo arm to gently lift him up until his eye height is at mine, and I'll say, "This is not a toy.
Oh, yes, I
Comms
know.
can reveal your position and ours to the enemy. We are putting great trust in you. Do not fail us." And then I'll
Never.
set him down.
Never, brother. He's there. I'll. Do you want me? What do you want me to do, masters?
And then when he says never, brother, Ramael looks at the child who's still in Varist's mechadendrite, right? And he says,
Aspirant Tigo,
Yes.
your trials begin now.
What would you have me do?
The first thing is focus. Less questions. More observation.
He nods. Yes.
very well. Once he nods, Ramael says very well.
You will make your way into Delacroix's camp stealthily. If you wish to become a blood dragon, your main objective is to survive this night, not get killed.
He waits for him to nod his head.
Yes. Nods.
You will make your way quietly on the rooftops. You will keep an eye over us, and you will keep an eye over the camp.
Yes.
When you see, or if you see anything suspicious, you will walk us. I do not want to hear chatter. I do not want to hear questions. You have your las pistol with you, but that is only for defense. This is purely a reconnaissance mission for you, aspirant. Nothing more.
Yes. Understood.
Failure will lead in death.
Yes, I understand. I'm ready to prove myself to you.
Ramael nods to him and then looks to Varist.
You may place him down, brother. The aspirant is ready.
Compliance. And Varist places him down.
Yeah.
And then looks for a moment, just gives him a couple of seconds to make sure he doesn't say anything more, and then lets him go.
Yeah, you could tell he wants to ask you something about it, but he thinks better of it and nods and I'm going to go now. And then, unless someone stops him, he kind of jogs off ahead of you.
I'm going to be monitoring that comm unit I gave him.
Yes, you can do that.
So if anything odd comes through it, or if is there anything odd I can detect from it, or anything?
Yeah, you see kind of the path. It goes out a little bit and then starts going up, like he was instructed to do.
Excellent. So yeah, that'll just be getting fed through to everyone else's Auspectorium.
While they're waiting, Vladric will look at his brothers and go over the comms. And this meeting, this parley, if it does not end in Rimborough's surrender or acquiesce to our demands, then I am to assume we will force them to come in line.
We will give them the option of joining us if we do not destroy them. If they refuse, we will cut the head off the snake and use the body for our purposes. If they resist, they will be granted the Emperor's mercy.
Excellent. I had assumed as much, but wanted to ensure that there was no doubt. We cannot be making deals with gangers like this. They acquiesce to our demand, or we force them to do what must be done for the good of the planet.
I concur.
I concur.
And Varys wasn't expecting to be insulted, but he just says, compliance. That's it.
There's no doubt in my mind. See the measure of filth. The archenemy has already begun to put its grips into this place. We will have to pry them out.
Never have I before so wished I had a flamer as when we were passing through that district.
It will be dealt with. Of that I give you my oath of the moment.
In his name.
Your power armor squeals as you continue on, clunk, 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 and eventually you get to where you need to go. Following the essentially the oops, he's not here. We'll just put him over there somewhere. You guys at the very top. You head into this hab area where the signal was generated from that servo that Varist, or the servitor where Varist was tracking, and you see a bunch of people, like there's hundreds hanging out in this area, and one person on one of these containers yells down, "You're expected, lords. Head on in. The master will see you." And there's a procession So it only shows one person, but there's a person walking towards you, and there's a bunch of people behind him. They don't appear to be warriors necessarily. They all wear brown cloaks with red trim, and you kind of this person, if you uh, if you zoom in, does appear to be actually female, and they have, very strange accoutrements, augmatics and a cyber eye, and their face appears to be reconstructed. It's not natural. These things are pretty plain to you and your sensors, your auspex, but they head forward. Just put some of these guys behind him. Welcome, they say. Welcome. I am glad that you are here in peace. Lords of the sky and the stars and the Lord God Emperor, I welcome you to Skullhaven Sprawl. I wish it was under better circumstances.
You are Delacure Rimbaud, I presume.
I am?
And these, and Ramael kind of gestures with his hand.
Is your gang?
Oh, we do not call ourselves a gang. They are my inspiration, my children, if you will. I protect them, and we protect ourselves. But you may call us a gang, if you so wish. I am a legitimate business person.
Then, Delacure Rimbaud, you have a choice before you. This world is sieged. This world
Excuse
is in
me.
the eye of the arch enemy.
Yes, I know all about this. I brought you here to tell you something. To give you something. Give you a gift. So that you may not doubt my loyalty to the Emperor.
What gift do you speak of?
The gift of knowledge. Because 2 weeks ago, others, not unlike yourself in every way, came here before you, asking many questions about specific things. They were rather unpleasant to deal with.
Continue.
They were looking for something. The Temple of Saint Isolde. It is not far. I told them where it was. And how to get there. If you seek your enemies, you will find them there. I am almost certain of that. Or at least remnants of them being there earlier. Cannot say they are still there. But the ship they flew in on has not left.
Where is their ship?
He or she puts out her hand, and one of the people behind her puts a data slate into it, and she walks over to you and extends it towards you. This will give you the location of what you seek.
Artaxian points to Varist to hand it to him, since obviously his Terminator gauntlets are probably a little too clumsy to handle something
Yeah,
like a
she
data
would.
slate.
And Varist, you see there's a map of Skullhaven Sprawl, and it has coordinates on it. And it's you estimate it's only like a 10-minute walk deeper out away from the city.
Right. So yeah, anything I'm seeing, I'm just passing on to the others. But I do also open just a private Vox channel to the others, and with no kind of external Vox, it'll just be private between us. And I'll just say, he did just admit to aiding the heretic Astartes. And he'll just leave that statement there.
Artaxian, kind of blink complies, or blink acknowledges it, and he goes to Vladric. Do you sense the taint of the enemy here with these people?
No warp presence here, no.
There is no warp presence, but Brother Vara's statement rings true. If Rambo was truly a loyal servant to the Imperium, then she would not have given this information. She would have died to defend that from the arch-enemy. At the very least, he must be confronted with that.
I do not disagree, but his punishment for his cowardice and self-preservation can be dealt with after we deal with those of the Third.
Varys, can you give me a tech use?
Yeah.
If you get anything from like Auspex bonuses, you can apply that too.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
fine. That's fine. You notice that there is a very powerful tech that you have never actually encountered before, that is actively descrambling your inner Vox.
As soon as I detect that, I'll say, brothers, and kind of cut off who is talking, and that information will just appear just as a message saying that on all of their displays. But also, while I'm doing that, I will be scanning for the source of that tech, and Varys will step forward.
It's like on the other side of the camp.
Yeah. So yeah, he will pinpoint the source for everyone else, and he will say to them, he'll say to Delacue, you think yourself above the Emperor's angels. You think yourself above the Adeptus Astartes.
Of course
you think
not.
that you can scan and decrypt our communications with impunity.
It is not intentional. It is simply there always, so that I can monitor my allies and enemies. I know that you might wish to punish me now, as it is fed into, and she kind of taps her head. I have no quarrel with you. I am not learned in the way of the Astartes and the various chapters. How was I supposed to know they were traitors? I did not. I simply knew that they were Astartes. If an Astartes asks me a question, I tell them truthfully.
Is she taking that very kind of cool offhand tone?
Yes.
Yeah. Varys the others of you can hear his teeth grind, and he knows that she'll be able to pick that up as well, and he doesn't care. And just the same thing happens again. That for the rest of you, you see a little kind of orange outline to her as a possible hostile, and that's all that happens. And just a question mark appears on your.
Vladric will take one step forward and put a hand on Brother Vlar's pauldron. He shakes his head, realizing that Artaxian's words speak true there, and his own sentiments with the greater foe comes first earlier. Later, brother.
Varys nods, and you just see a little addition to the set of bombing sites. You just see the site of this camp noted out there into the dotted line. Just waiting for confirmation, and then he steps back into line.
Yeah, and Vladric looks to Rimbaud and... You have provided us with this information. Is there anything else that we might know? Any other secrets you might have shared with the arch-enemy?
I know nothing of importance. That I am aware is important, except the location of this place. I assume that they came here because we are simply the closest to it.
And in this situation that we find ourselves in, what are your goals? What are your intentions?
My goals are as it has always been, to survive, to profit.
Brothers, and Varys is now saying this quite openly, knowing that there's no point saying it privately. Say, brothers, I suggest that Rimbaud should make amends for assisting the archenemy. This group is in possession of some interesting technology. I would see it, and perhaps it is something that may be of use to us.
I am happy to share. Once you return, you may have it if you wish.
Show me what it is. And Varys steps forward again, this time less aggressively. He is being very aware of whether weapons are raised in his direction or not.
She takes a step back, clearly wants to keep distance in between you and her, and says, it seems not a fair deal. I have given you information, and now you want the prize before.
No, I asked to see it. I am not accustomed to being questioned by one such as you.
Very well. And she snaps her finger, and one of the men next to her just begins kind of walking in this direction. You don't have to move your token or anything, but he walks you over to this. It's basically a tent, and there's this circular piece of a device with it looks like it has about 100 antennas on it. They're very small, and you can see they're just like moving around, whirling, and as you get close they like really kind of speed up. And you're kind of looking at the machine spirit and in communion with them, and you kind of in your mind you see like these data packets going back and forth, and they kind of like, it's almost like you see them in the air flowing from your your void, not your void, your vox into it, as it just kind of like is taking all the signals in the area, and it's more than just you. He or she was correct that it just kind of sucks in everything, and then you see there's one outgoing one just to her. So she's kind of obviously monitoring everything.
Yeah.
And you can give me a tech roll. The DN's going to be 8. It's going to be very difficult. So you can use glory if you would.
Can I get any bonus from my auger array?
Yeah, go ahead and give yourself one extra dice.
Okay, thank you. Tech, dice pool, bonus 1. Okay.
You can use glory too, so that would give you another one.
Oh yeah, thank you. I didn't.
You get to do it after, I think.
Oh yeah,
Do
you
you?
can do it after. That's fine.
Okay.
It's kind of strange. Yeah, well there you go. See if you can do it now. You got one more die. You need a 4, 5, or 6. There you go.
That's excellent.
So yeah, it's
Cool.
you're fairly sure it's archaeotech of some sort. It's not something that you recognize. The Mechanicus would love to get their hands on something like this, no doubt.
Nice. Well, I do need to get back in their good books on the ship. So, yeah, he notes this down, and he's quite relieved to note it's Archaeotech and not Xenos Tech.
No,
So-
it doesn't appear to be Xenos Tech as far as you can tell.
Yeah.
It is so it is probably the size of like a beach ball, right? That kind of size, only it's flat on the bottom. But it could be, you think it could be picked up and moved if needed.
Awesome.
Easily
Yeah.
by you guys, but even you think a human could probably do it.
And if nothing else, I'm recording everything I see here. And so Varys nods and says, "Seen and understood." And he just turns his back on this enforcer and just walks his way back there. Yeah, the rest of you, well, he'll just, as he's walking towards you, you get a little sort of just effectively just text coming up in your retinal displays saying Archaeotech valuable, and that's it.
We have the coordinates for this temple.
Yep.
Yeah, Vladric looks to his brothers. Is there anything else that we have to ask?
No. Artaxian kind of, and he knows Delaque keeps space, but he looks directly at Delaque. This information is valuable, but know this, ignorance is not an excuse for aiding and abetting the enemy. We will not punish you now, but you will make it right your sin. Be prepared to assist us when we return. It is not a request, but an order.
As you command, my lords. I do all that I do for the God Emperor. By his will.
This interaction will be remembered. And Vladric looks to our taxing others and nods, and we'll start to head towards the temple.
Yep. Artaxian nods and doesn't say anything else to Delaque and turns to leave.
And you head in that direction. Question. Do you want to keep going or do you want to end now?
We got time to kill space Chaos Marines. It's up to everybody else.
Yeah, let's do it.
Sure.
Probably.
All right, let's take just a very brief 5 minutes-ish.
Go get some water here real quick.
Yep, that's what I'm going to do.
Yep.
I'll be right
I might need
back.
just slightly more because it takes more than that to make a good cup of tea. But,
Yeah, no problem.
We just left the kid. Fuck him, leave him there.
No, no, no. On our way to the temple, we should tell the kid to follow us there and keep an eye on the temple as well. Basically, use the kid as Overwatch.
I'm back if anybody else is.
All right, I'm back.
I am also back.
Being too nice to people, we gotta treat them like the chattel they are.
Yeah, you've only killed one person so far this session. What the hell?
Well, I mean, at the end, when I ordered the Militarum to
Yeah.
fucking release the Kraken on that unit.
Don't worry, this is all just delayed gratification. This, we're gonna come back.
Yeah, these are the side...
We're gonna get to the end of this campaign, and it's gonna be very like, you know, heroic and everything like that. And then at the very end, it's gonna zoom in on this neighborhood, just get fucking annihilated.
The children like going down, like
It
dumped napalm on their head.
it's gonna be like, you know, really happy and people, oh look, the land is healing type of shit, and then just fucking Earthshaker rounds fly in, just fucking rattle this whole sector, just rattle this whole section of the neighborhood. All these halves, all of them get fucking wiped out. Done.
This is like a video game where we complete like the first act and then we go back and complete all the side objectives, and we're so overpowered we just like blow through it and just cream it all.
We take one step in the neighborhood and it's just fucking chaos. Just people dying left and right. It's just a footnote at the end of, oh yeah, the Blood Dragons did all this really great shit. Also, they killed like an entire half of people they suspected of being corrupted by chaos, but never mind that. That's fine. It's literally 3 sentences.
The Inquisition would approve. Actually, they'd redact that because it said an area was corrupted by chaos.
Correct. An area was redacted. As in the Blood Dragons redacted the lives of the residents that live there.
So you guys marked the hab block. Ramael increased it by 10%. The fucking Inquisition would have increased it by another 25 to 30%. We pretty much will have to stop.
Rutherford circled an entire camp of people that may or may not be here when this is done.
This reminds me of the time North tried to kill a bunch of people.
Yeah, but they were innocent people.
And it was North.
Yeah.
It was North.
North was a little over. Okay, let me ask you a question though. Okay, so if you guys would come upon was she pregnant? I can't remember.
He was. He was a pregnant mutant.
No, the psyker. The psyker. Well, she didn't even know she was a psyker. So, unsanctioned psyker, pregnant. Would you kill her?
As a space marine?
Yeah.
And there's no access to keeping her in place until the black ships can pick her up?
Correct.
Then yes, you kill her.
Yep. It's very dangerous.
Yeah,
as a
Ghost character.
As a space marine, I get it.
I mean, it was Jengus, right? I mean,
so here's how. So they would probably do it unless it was some that. There are certain space marine chapters that probably wouldn't, but they might. I could see them be considered irresponsible because an unsanctioned psyker is dangerous to an entire planet. Like no joke, an entire planet of people and then some, depending on what happens, right? So. Space Marines, but like we were just some fucking dudes.
That's true. You guys were barely even acolytes.
Yeah, like we were acolytes because we got conscripted, right? Like basically, and so it was get the mission done, and what the fucking Inquisitor doesn't know, who cares, right? As long as the mission got done, doesn't matter. That was my modus operandi as Jengas. North.
Did you guys kill? What's his face? And he was there, right? North's character was there. I can't remember his name.
Dude, we hated North and what was his name? What was the thing?
Can't remember.
So much.
Vanso was the
guy.
Dude,
we hated Vanso so much that 3 or 4 years after that session, when we were playing a completely different fucking game, the moment we saw Vanso, we completely lost the plot. Like everybody in the group
really.
Yeah, we even ignored the fucking Children of the Emperor Space Marine and just went after Vanso.
Did you guys kill him?
Yes,
Yeah,
we killed him.
that was in your campaign. I
Yeah,
thought.
I know.
Yep,
I was trying
yeah.
to.
The recent one, it was
Yeah.
because he like worked with the traders because he was
Yeah.
a rat or
Mhm.
something. So we killed the
But
fuck
yeah,
out of him.
the short answer is, if you were like just a normal guardsman, and you didn't know the dangers of unsanctioned psychers, would you probably show compassion because you're still human? Yes. If you're a space marine, and there was no way to imprison her until the Sisters of Silence came around to pick her up, yeah, you'd put her head through you'd just crush her head and move on.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, like, think of it this way. What would Grimaldus do?
and
right?
you
If it
have
was-
to think of the situation too. Jangus probably would have been killed for doing that because she had an Algren bodyguard. Yeah, it probably wouldn't have been good.
No, it's situation like it's not our fault. Like that.
Yeah.
That was it was Genghis was morally there were shades of gray, but he was leaning good. And the context was, this is a dude who I just started working with like today,
He
and
was
he's trying to
clearly
kill
an
him.
asshole.
He's an asshole. He's been an asshole to every single person. The somebody who sacrificed themselves to like in a fight, which the person playing it was just doing it to be a dick, I think. But like in character sacrifice.
that was yeah. He was.
In character sacrifice, Vanso talked down on that, said it was stupid, and it's like Vanso was just a huge prick, and so I was never gonna back Vanso anyway. Genghis wanted to kill Vanso probably the moment by the end of that mission, I wanted to kill Vanso, and I wanted to kill Vanso in character. I was like, if North ever gives me an incentive in character to kill Vanso, I'm gonna fucking do it. I'm taking it because this guy's a piece of shit.
Do you remember, real quick before we get going, but do you remember when he stole the respirator from those people and then it saved his life later on?
Yeah. I'm just amazed that he had any wherewithal to want to save anyone else in the group because he dragged Stim's character out of that.
Mm-hmm.
So I 100%. I think Jangus and Newt would have both wanted to fucking catch Vanso in the showers and just rip him to fucking pieces.
Yeah.
So yeah.
We'll revisit that all again because it didn't get all resolved, right?
What, the IM game?
Yeah.
We just left, I think.
Yeah, he just
Pieced the fuck
We
out.
were in
No.
a ship in space.
Dude, we were in ship in space. Wait,
Yeah.
I think... Okay, without being meta in this game, that game ended with our ship in space and two void ships bearing down on us right on the edge of the planet. At this point, you have said two void ships are bearing down on the planet while our void ship should go and hide behind the star. Or the moon, sorry. So I think, if I'm not mistaken, yeah,
Yeah,
like
maybe.
meta, but
Maybe.
maybe.
All right.
But yeah, like that's where that game ended. Like we being in a shuttle in the void ship.
Yep, it did.
Yep.
All right. Oh, this is not what I want yet.
Wait, this is the temple?
Mm,
Hmm?
Yeah, hold on.
Elden Ring.
Hey, you gotta get art where you can.
No, it's not.
That's a Sith statue.
We found the Ark of the Covenant.
Where's my? Oh, there it is.
Oh shit.
You head towards this this temple, and as you kind of get closer, you do see this massive statue of a saint. You assume it looks more or less like this. However, your eyes do kind of wander, and you do see this Thunderhawk that is parked, if you will, nearby, within a walking distance easily of the temple. You don't see anything else or anyone else at this point.
Can we see the markings on the Thunderhawk? Is it Children of the Emperor?
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
The enemy is here, brothers. Steady yourself and prepare. We do not know their numbers, but we do know we will not let them leave this temple on this day.
Could I rig up a crack grenade under the controls? I suppose it isn't open, is it? Those Thunderhawk.
You'd have to go explore it. You're not close enough to tell.
Okay. Yeah, I guess we haven't got time. Yeah, don't want to give ourselves away.
I mean, this is the area. This Thunderhawk is much bigger than displayed, but I mean, this is the.
Yeah.
It's like on a little landing pad nearby.
Okay, it's a little way off. Okay, no, I don't want to reveal ourselves.
Yeah, this is kind of the exterior part, and at the very bottom there is a door that goes kind of into the statue, wide enough for you to go in one at a time. Outside, you see no signs of really anything except the Thunderhawk, 100 feet away.
Should I go and examine the craft?
Ramael looks to Varist. If I'm not mistaken, on a Thunderhawk, it's still like a turbine, right? Turbine propelled. And the turbine's hanging underneath the wings.
I believe so. From pictures, that's what it appears
Right.
like.
Yeah. So Ramael looks to Varist. Brother Varist, there may be a crack grenade in the turbine of the Thunderhawk.
Excellent idea, brother. And you think you hear a smile in his voice as he goes. So Varus will start heading in that direction. He'll just pulse scan as he goes in case anyone else is receiving. He'll just make it a couple of pulses, and he'll try and stay out of sight from the cockpit as much as he can, just in case someone's in there. And his aim is to get behind the right-hand engine and to just rig up a little attachment so that the pin of the grenade is attached to one of the turbines.
Okay, can you give me a stealth roll?
Yep. Bum, bum, bum.
Oh, stealth. We should have asked our taxian to do that.
Yeah, right?
I
There's
don't
a
think
tank coming. Oh wait, it's a
great.
man.
Oh!
Holy smokes. Okay, hold on.
Oh.
Hey, where'd he go?
Yeah, right? He turns invisible with some refractor field.
Okay, attack.
Okay. Nope, that's not what I want to do. Yeah, hold on. So, Tigo, you don't know where Tigo is, obviously. He has not met back up with you. But that's irrelevant. Varus, you are trying to stay, in a certain area to come up behind the cockpit, and you're getting closer and closer, and all of a sudden, one of the guns just comes and just lets loose on you. So I'm gonna use.
Damn, 14
I
successes.
know. Give me 2 seconds here I'm just gonna recycle something.
I guess it's too late, but there were shifts possible.
For him.
Ooh.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, you
both,
could
but I
shift
guess
it.
the
Well,
But then
Right.
so could they.
yeah, so
Yeah.
could
they
they
have
just
more
watch
shifts.
it.
Yeah. It was really I have to look at opposed rolls, but in this it looks like this one. It's like they're gonna get the better of it anyway. Give me 1 second here. I gotta
So,
find.
do they have guns that can go to? I'm sure they've got something. Yeah. I suppose
There's
some of them are ones.
well, let's see. There is.
Oh no, is it a heavy bolter?
Yeah, that's exactly what it's gonna be.
I was
Oh,
gonna say
man.
it's got a shit gun.
Me and heavy bolters. What the hell?
I'm gonna use the tank once I find it. Oh, there it is, Manticore.
You-
Okay, let's just use this for now.
Oh.
Okay, I'm just gonna set it here so it can shoot. Give me a sec. Okay, so pilots. Okay, so let me bring. Give me 1 sec. This is kind of fiddly. Okay, yes.
I'm not trying to give him any ideas, but it does technically have 4 twin-linked heavy bolters on it.
Oh, damn it.
That's what happens when you interrupt Slanesh Marine's fucking porn while he's sitting there watching it, waiting for his boys to come back from the temple. Oh.
All right. So, what is your defense is 4, so it's a hit. Shifts possible 0.
That is at least a blessing.
18 damage.
Oh.
What is your resistance? 12. So that's
Think
6.
so,
Would you like to
yeah.
take shock? You can roll determination to take shock. I gotta change this music.
Okay. Let's try that. Where's determination? Where's determination?
It's right next to
Combat?
injuries, under injuries.
Oh yeah, determination. Got it.
Hold on. What happened?
I don't know. I've got 3 successes, but it's saying determination 0, wound 0. Determination 0, wound 0, shock.
Wait, did you target Varus when you made
I
that roll?
did. That's weird. Okay, well, it's whatever it is. It's 3 shock, right? You take.
Okay.
So you got 3 successes. So that's 3
Okay.
shock, and then you take how many wounds? What was 3? Yeah.
Okay.
So it just. How does it look? Is it just like as you get close to it?
Yeah. So he's making his way there, and he's being pretty quiet for someone of his size, and he's stayed well away from the cockpit. And it's just as he gets into the perfect firing range for this, it just pivots and absolutely nails him. He kind of throws himself to one side, but he gets there's just a row of bolter rounds kind of impact and explode across his the center right of his chest, and he's knocked back, reeling.
Okay, so if you guys would like to enter combat, you can, or Varus, you can try to get out of there.
Yeah, I think my chance of taking on an active Thunderhawk is low, but if I can, as I run for cover, I'm going to try and throw. Seeing I've got that crack grenade in my hand, I'm just going to try and pull the pin and throw it into that engine.
Okay, I would just say, so let's just do it as a roll. You don't have to target anything. So how about, what does that use? Does that use athletics or something? I don't remember.
Oh, I don't know.
I don't see a crack grenade in your war gear.
Gear.
Don't see that.
I've got 1, 2, 3 crack grenades and 3 frag grenades.
Oh, it's in gear. Okay, so you got it. Just equipment. There you go. Now I see it. Okay. Now you go. If you click it, it says your dice pool's 11. So what would that be? Yeah, just target it and just do the crack grenade and see what happens. Just
Okay.
target the manticore. It's fine.
In what way? What do I do to roll that?
So hover on it, hit T, and then go to your your sheet, and then war gear, click crack grenade,
Okay, alright. T.
and then it'll
drop
bring up all
that.
your dice pool and stuff. Does it say you're out of range?
No. I just get the stats of it, not the.
So okay, so click on the Manticore and hit T.
Yeah, I think I've
Okay,
done that.
and then
Let me
go
just
in
look
your under combat tab. Are you under the combat tab?
Oh no, I was
Under
under the
war
gear.
gear, click the crack grenade.
Ah, got it now. Yeah. Okay, DN 5 dice pool 11. Okay.
Okay.
6 successes, but I do have a Wrath complication.
Yeah. You throw it in there, but nothing happens. It's like either a dud or you forgot to pull the pin. You're not sure what happened, but it doesn't explode.
Oh, damn. And yeah, so Varys curses and yeah, he's making for nearest cover. And just hurl himself into cover.
What are the rest of you doing?
Well, if I see this happen, I'm immediately running over there to back up my brother. I mean, this is not good.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's throw everybody into initiative then.
Are we?
Wait, hold on. Yeah,
Yeah,
we're
go
going to
ahead.
initiative. But can you just compare to where Varist is, where the Thunderhawk is,
Yeah.
and where the entrance of the temple is? Can you just give us an idea?
So you're about 100 feet away if you stayed at the temple. So it'll probably take you 2 rounds to get there. I'll just say, at his fat. Well, it'll take Vladric and Remiel 2 rounds to get there, and Artaxian 3. We'll just say.
Yeah, I was gonna say Artaxian knows being caught out in the open against it, even in a Terminator armor, is a death sentence against the Thunderhawk, and he just kind of voxes, retrieve Varist and enter the temple.
Leave me, brothers. I will extricate myself from this situation I got myself into. I will meet you in the temple.
What do you guys do?
If he's confident, yeah.
He
Vladimir
just definitely
goes
doesn't want you
over.
guys to die trying to protect him.
Vladimir will come over. Understood, brother. And start to head in. Feeling ill, but he will head in.
Barrist will switch off his comm, but he'll be reciting prayers to the machine god, the motive force, and the Omnissiah.
So you're under cover, and you see this, like, you see the gun pointing generally in your direction, those bolters. So, and you have an open space you have to cross to get to the temple. There's other covers, but you're going to have to at least go over that open space at least one more time.
So what I'm going to try and do is I'm going to try and make a tech roll. This was once an Imperial craft. There may be something of its machine spirit surviving, despite the taint of the warp. And Varist it's a desperate situation, so he's going to try something desperate. He's going to try and effectively hack into it.
It's going to be 8.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably like possessed. So yeah, DN 8.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. And oh,
Thank God you didn't roll a wrath failure.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do access it, and it is very, very unnerving, because it is possessed, and like these tendrils of it's like very odd thinking of it in like a technical aspect. There's like you see things in strings of code, but it's all like out of sequence and upside down, and it's almost like reaching towards your mind as tendrils. You feel this, you see code pass you that like makes you like super like interested and excited. It's almost like a tech priest or a tech marines version of like uh, ecstasy, but you're like holding it off as you're inside of the Thunderhawk briefly. What would you do?
Basically, it's dereferencing null pointers and still operational.
It's dereferencing null pointers and it likes it. I actually want to start just shutting down systems just long enough that the gun will be the gun won't be able to track quick enough to catch me.
You can do that. Yes, you can do that.
Yeah. So I'm going to do that, and then before it can recover, I'm just going to hair it as fast as I can go, which I guess for a...
Are you staying connected?
No, I'm going to disconnect as soon as I can, because that's exposing myself to the danger.
Yep.
I'm not going to...
You do? Give me 1 second, though. I want you to roll. Okay, you're going to make a corruption roll. And it is going to be... What do you roll, though? Hold on. Corruption rolls. Make a corruption test. What do you roll? Conviction. So make a conviction versus a DN3. Let me see.
Conviction.
What is conviction? Oh, there it is. Yep.
Okay, and then I've got corruption as... Yeah, and then I've got corruption there. So
corruption is how much
DN3?
you take. Yep, DN3.
Okay, no, it doesn't want to go...
You can't... You do have glory that you can spend after your roll.
It doesn't want to go down below 5.
What doesn't?
And...
The...
DN?
It should be, you should be able to roll corruption roll a DN3. If it doesn't, we'll just look at it. It's fine.
Okay. Yeah. Does anyone mind if I use glory on this?
Go for it.
Yeah.
Marked it.
So yeah, I will use glory, but I haven't done that yet because I can't do it beforehand.
Yeah. So that's failure so far.
Okay. How much glory will it take to turn that into a success?
Oh, you have to roll ED. So each glory is an ED. So that's just a roll. You're gonna roll them and see.
Oh, okay. How many glory have we got at the moment?
We got two.
Two. Okay. Does anyone mind if I use both? Because I'm going to need it.
Yeah, you might as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Avoiding corruption is pretty good.
Thanks. I'll say 2d6, and we'll look at what the individual dice are. So that is... Where is it?
Success. That's two successes.
Oh, it has to be 2 successes, doesn't it? Yeah.
So you're not corrupted. I'll reduce...
Praise to the Omnissiah.
Yeah, you just barely get out of there in time, but you are like stricken. You feel like absolute crap.
Yeah. I feel like I've got an oil slick across my soul. I'm not feeling good. And but Varys is just herring away from it, which is very easy to do. It's very easy to run away from this.
As you're running, you kind of look over your shoulder and you see the ramp start to extend, like it's coming down.
Balls. I will quick data burst to the others, saying that we've got contact from behind.
Into the temple.
I'm heading I'm heading in their direction, but I'm being followed.
Yeah, you enter this temple. It has these natural, like, stained glass windows that are letting all this light into the temple. You see there are dead sisters of battle on the ground, and you see that there's one kind of sitting up and leaning against a pew or something, and they have like a heavy bolt in their hands, and they're kind of pointing it at the entrance, and she's got blood coming out of her mouth and looks grievously wounded.
I will. I'll be as I come herring in. I'll say to the others, "We're going to have company," and then pick up that she's there, and I just carry on running in her direction. Because unless anyone else has got Medicaid training, I've got a little bit, so I can.
Yeah.
Oh no, I don't. Oh, I don't. I thought I was going on. I didn't. Gah. Yeah. Take that back.
Who are you? She cries out. I will fight you for the Emperor.
We are loyal sons of the Emperor. We are the Blood Dragons, here to stop this heresy.
She coughs up blood. They're in the inner chambers below. They're here for the Requiem.
Point where?
She points kind of behind her, and as your auspex begins scanning the wall, you can see it's a fake wall, and so there's some way to get behind there, you think.
How many?
She just shakes her. Several. I don't remember. It was chaos. So many.
Wadrick will approach as she's speaking. I have very little Medicaid. Does it look mortal? Is she fucked, basically?
You think so? Yeah, she's got a huge gash in her stomach, several, gunshot wounds of various types. If you could prop me up, I'll fight.
Ramael looks to the sister and he says,
Is that the only entrance and exit?
There's a secret exit. You can do Medicaid to keep her alive enough for her to give you the extra information.
I will try. Does anyone have a Medicaid higher than 4?
No.
Yeah.
Let's say it's DN3.
Oh,
Just very.
Are you talking the total, or are you?
Total.
I can tell.
Oh, I've got 6 total, but I've got no ranks in it.
That doesn't
I
matter.
think you're going to be better at this.
Okay. I will head over.
DN3, you got a chance.
Okay. Yeah.
No more glory in the pool, though.
I can't render assistance, can I?
I don't really know how that works. We'll just say that you can give him 1 extra die. How's that?
Oh.
Without me roll diving.
Cool. Let me do that. Dice pool. I just had 1 bonus to the dice pool.
1 ED bonus, yep.
I think I've done this right, but let's have a look at what it rolls.
Good luck. That's a success.
Yeah.
And you get a glory. Yeah, so how do you keep her alive for at least another
Yes.
few minutes?
So he'll come over, and the first thing he injects her with is some kind of basic stimulant, and he says, This may make the pain worse, but it will keep you conscious. Keep your eyes on me and your thoughts on the Emperor. And then he will basically he's effectively going to like staple her wounds closed and just try and seal stuff as best he can. It's pretty crude, but
She screams out in pain as you do so, but
yeah. And basically there's sort of one bit of the servo arm there for her to kind of grip onto, and she'll yeah. I don't think it goes quite that way. Yeah, maybe that's what the Wrath Critical is. But yeah, so he basically he's kind of like machine suturing the wounds closed. It's pretty crude work, but if she's strong enough, maybe she'll survive.
she screams out in pain.
Stay conscious, sister. Stay conscious. Do not let the darkness claim you.
Yes, there's a... she, like, just gives you basically coordinates. There's an exit. Another way out. Other side of the hive. The underbelly. Beneath the ground. Connected to a large underground city.
Thank you, sister. And yeah, as he usually does, he's just passing everything on to the rest of the squad.
Let me
Now.
fight.
No, rest easy. Your fight is done.
Tah! She, like, pulls herself up to her feet. I will fight.
She has more to give, brother. Let her have this glory.
She does indeed. For he of
Take my
terror.
shoulder, if you wish, sister. The foe comes.
Yeah, so what are you gonna do? Are you waiting for them to come in, or?
Varist is waiting to. Yeah, he's going to.
How many were coming after him? Did we know?
Did not
Don't
see.
know.
Just
I
saw
did
that it
not
was
wait
opening.
to see.
We will deal with this before we deal with those below. We do not want to get put between a hammer and an anvil.
Quite.
So, yeah, Varys, can you give me a something that would be for your auspex? Actually, it would be probably pretty obvious. Actually, you hear the sound of the Thunderhawk lifting off, but it's not going very far. It's getting closer, you think?
They're bringing the Thunderhawk in. Get away from the doors. And he's going to aim to get back over here, I think. He's going to be running from there, and he says, Brother Chaplain, get into cover.
So if you say the Thunderhawk is coming to towards the temple, then Ramael would look at Artaxian.
It seems our decision has been made for us. Down into the catacombs.
Yeah.
Let's hunt this treacherous swine.
Yeah, the door's over here. I'm having a horrendous time marking it, but what in the fuck? Stop, dude. Okay. It's over by the statue, basically behind there.
Yeah, so I'm thinking even if they crash the Thunderhawk into the temple, we should be able to get underneath.
Yeah, I don't think
they-
they need to
they'll
crash
just-
it in. They just need
They
to
don't,
open
yeah,
up.
they're just open fire
Yeah,
with
that's
heavy
that's what you would
bolters
expect.
and-
They're just gonna start blowing up the temple.
Very well, let us go. It is the prudent thing to do if we were in their position. And he kind of goes to pick up the remaining sister. Down we go.
And Varys says, Brother Sergeant, I am the least useful in a fight, and I have a limb to spare, and he his servo arm kind of clicks the button. He says, I will carry her. And he goes over and picks her up in his normal two hands, but then once he's got her supported, the servo arm swings round underneath, and that sort of supports her, and he just uses his other hand to hold her steady. And that leaves him one hand to shoot with.
She's, bring me to the door. I will open it.
And I'll do that.
As you get closer to the statue, she reaches out and has like a big ass ring on her hand, and she sits it. She like pushes her fist into her gauntleted fist into the statue's stomach, and there's like a recess inside that fits the ring perfectly. And as she does, just like, and the wall begins to open behind, and then there's this huge, wide opening, and there's just complete darkness below, and it's wide enough for our Taxian even to walk into.
Down we go.
And as you enter into the darkness, you hear explosions behind you and the crumbling of stone and ancient this ancient building. The humongous statue just like collapses, and it all just kind of rumbles and falls above you. As the door closes behind you, even with your massive power armor, and you kind of like shake beneath in the darkness. And as your auspex start up and you kind of begin to look into the darkness, the scene fades, and that's where our break will end us.
Nice. We look into the darkness, and the darkness looks back.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Nice. Thank you.
A good cliffhanger.
Yep.
Well,
Okay, and the message for Varys is: remember that military vehicles have heavy bolters.
I think the wiki said it has 4
yeah, I looked at
twin-length
it
heavy
before.
bolters,
Yeah.
a battle cannon, and 2 las cannons.
Oh
But
god.
I guess what they actually wanted to do was injure me so they could come out and have some fun.
Right. And that's the lightest armed version. That's because that's the transport version.
I was assuming it was sitting there empty. I don't know why I assumed that. I thought
Yeah, it was always meant that there was people in there, so I didn't like. It was always meant that there was 2 Space Marines in there. Yeah, I was like, I want to just go around it.
I just had this visual. These dudes. I mean, I thought it was just one guy sitting out there chilling, and he's just sitting out there chilling. He just happens to look in the rearview mirror and sees Varys.
Wait!
It's like,
There's a huge Space Marine coming towards me.
He was sitting there like watching whatever.